I know I'm late. Shut it! I got stuck with lawn work and it's been eating my soul. I'm gonna try to get 4 recorded tonight and get myself caught up. Hopefully I'll have a chance to marathon record later in the week. So the day comes to a close. In the dead of night, just before midnight, Emiyashiro must practice the daily routine of his magic. I sit down with my legs crossed and control my breathing. As much as I can, I empty my mind. I avoid contact with the outside world and turn my whole consciousness inwards. Begin synchronization. Trace on. To place a suggestion on myself, I whisper my accustomed spell. No, this is really nothing more than self-suggestion. I don't have a magic crest or anything, and I don't know anything about the ways of magic. So for me, a spell is just something for transforming yourself. Normally, in a human body, there's no line along which to pass magical energy. Or nerve, if you prefer. So in order to create a pseudo-nerve and temporarily transform your body into something that can, you need to have the concentration necessary to have total control over your nerves and your body. Magic is a battle with yourself. As an example, in this instant, I'm driving a burning iron bar into my spine. That iron bar, the only one that I can prepare, is my singular magic circuit. In passing it deeply into my body and connecting it to my other nerves, finally I become a magic user. That's not a figure of speech. Truthfully, a rod of fire that can't be seen by the eye or touched by the hand is being pushed deeply into Emiyashiro's spine. I'm a magician. Emiya Kiritsugu, who said that, was really a mage. A true-born mage who learned many arcane secrets, accomplished miracles, and who might even have touched the structure of the world. I idolized Kiritsugu, and when I was a kid I begged him to teach me magic. But a mage isn't something you can become just by trying. You have to be born with the talent, and you need the appropriate knowledge. And of course I don't have any inborn talent, and Kiritsugu didn't teach me any of the ways of magic. Although Kiritsugu said that I didn't need any of that or something. That was a bad read. Although Kiritsugu said that I didn't need any of that or something. I still don't know what he meant by that. I was just a kid, and it was all the same to me. Anyway, I thought that if I could just use magic, then I could become like Kiritsugu. However, I had no inborn talent, not the quantity of magic circuits, nor the generations of accumulated study of magecraft. The proof of those generations of study that Kiritsugu had, the magic crest passed down through the Emiya family, apparently could only be transferred to a blood relative. The magic crest that's the proof of a mage's existence rejects anyone who isn't connected by blood. So, because I was adopted, I couldn't receive the Emiya family crest. Oh well. Truthfully, it doesn't matter to me in the slightest if I have something like that or not, since I don't even really know what a magic crest is. So, that being the case, everything else is up to chance. It's itchy today. If I want to be a mage, I can only learn magic that matches my own specific characteristics. To put it bluntly, magic is a technique for the emission of magical energy. If you wanted to put it another way and call it life energy, that'd be fine too. Magical energy is divided into mana, large source, which fills the world around us, and Od, small source, which is generated inside of living things. Since we call them the large source and the small source, it goes without saying that large is better than small. There's a vast difference in power between the mana contained in the world around us and the Od generated by a single person. Oh. Whatever sort of magic it is, a technique making use of the large source will easily outstrip anything using only the mage's own personal energy. That being the case, the best mages are highly skilled in drawing magical energy out from the world around them. Seriously, did a moth fly in there or something? If you picture a filter, that's pretty close. Mages turn their bodies into a conversion circuit, drawing mana from the world outside, and turn it into something that even humans can use. That conversion circuit is what mages call a magic circuit. That specifically is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits you have is decided the instant that you're born. Ordinarily, humans mostly don't have any magic circuits. There's something that are intrinsically few in number. That's why mages concentrate their blood over generations, so that the descendants born to them will have bodies better suited to magic. I've heard that some families take it too far and increase the number of magic circuits in their offspring through something like selective breeding. Well, that being the case, since I was raised in a normal family, I can't hope to have many magic circuits. Since that's the case, there's only one way left. Kiritsugu once said that every person has at least one form of magic that they're suitable for. He said something about drawing out magical energy according to their origin, but none of what he said made any sense to me. What's certain is that even people like me have one kind of magic that they can use, and if I train it, maybe one day I can become like Kiritsugu. So that's why I've only learned that one magic. That was 8 years ago. After Kiritsugu finished agonizing over it, with a serious face he recognized me as his apprentice.
いいかいしろ。魔術を習うということは常識からかけ離れるということだ。死ぬときは死に、殺すときは殺す。
Look, Shiro. Learning magic is something separated from common sense. When you die, and when you have to kill, you kill.
僕たちの本質は生ではなく死だからね。魔術とは自らを滅ぼす道に他ならない。
Our true nature isn't life, it's death. Magic isn't anything else but a path to destroy yourself. My young heart probably didn't know fear then. On the head of the strongly nodding Emiyashiro, Kiritsugu placed his hand and smiled sadly.
君に教えるのはそういった争いを呼ぶ類のものだ。
What I'm going to teach you is a thing that brings those sorts of conflicts.
だから人前で使ってはいけないし、難しいものだから鍛錬を怠ってもいけない。
Because of that, you mustn't use it in front of other people, and you can't stop training just because it's difficult.
でもまあ、それは破ったって構わない。
Well, I don't care if you don't follow that part.
一番大事なことはね、魔術は自分のためじゃなくて、他人のためだけに使うということだよ。そうすれば、シローは魔術使いではあるけど、魔術師ではなくなるからね。
The most important thing is that you use magic not for yourself, but only for the benefit of other people. If you do that, you'll be a magic user, but you'll never be a mage. Kiritsugu didn't want Emiyashiro to be a mage, I think. I don't think I really mind that. What I idolized wasn't mages, it was Kiritsugu himself. But if I could help someone, like Kiritsugu, like he did on that red day, that'd be... I lost my concentration. A grinding feeling as the iron bar driven into my spine slips off course into some place it mustn't go. If I lose control of my breathing here, there's no going back. The artificial pseudo-nerve that is my magic circuit will corrode into my body and tear my insides to pieces. If that happens, that's the end. Emiya Shiro will be a novice who lost his life failing this most basic step. I grit my teeth so hard they might break and restart the connection. At the end of a fight like walking up a mountain made of needles, the iron bar reaches deep into my body and finally fuses into it. Getting this far took just short of an hour. Taking that much time, I finally created a single pseudo-nerve and made myself into a circuit capable of generating magical energy. Analyzing fundamental structure. All that's left is the work of letting magical energy flow through naturally. Emiya Shiro isn't a mage. He's a magic user only capable of generating magical energy like this and letting it flow into another object. So his magic too can only do a single thing. That is... analyzing component materials. The reinforcement of objects. It's just a reinforcement magic which temporarily enhances the properties of an object by understanding the structure and passing magical energy into it. Altering fundamental structure. In front of me is a broken iron pipe. By passing magical energy into it, I can perform the purest and simplest technique of reinforcing its hardness. In the first place, passing your own magical energy into something other than yourself is the same as mixing a toxin into it. In the same way that my blood isn't blood for the pipe, trying to reinforce something by passing different blood into it will just make it break down faster. To avoid that, and turn the toxin into a medicine, you need to accurately understand the structure of the target object and pass magical energy into the open gaps in its structure. Strengthening component materials. For a skilled mage, this would probably be easy, but for me who can't even satisfactorily generate magical energy, it's as difficult as shooting an arrow at a target a few hundred meters away. By the way, the normal distance of an archery target is 28 meters. Shot several dozen times more difficult than that, it should go without saying how difficult that is. The fever in my body rapidly cools down. The pillar of fire passing through my spine disappears, and my lungs, squeezed to their limit, beg for oxygen. Against the dizziness that, like I might pass out, my body curls up into the fetal position and endures. Another failure, huh? There's no change in the iron pipe. It seems like the magical energy that I passed into it just evaporated back out again. Putting your hand to something that already has a shape is hard. What I'm doing is like taking a brush to an already completed work of art. Trying to alter something that's already been finished carries the danger of undoing that completeness. The brush that was supposed to enhance the work of art instead damages the worth of the work of art itself. That's why reinforcement magic is difficult even while being very simple, and apparently there aren't very many mages who use it by choice. Well, I'm not really choosing to use it either. There's just no other option because I don't have the talent to do anything else. It would be easier if I could make a substitute out of formless clay, but a substitute that reproduces the shape that way still only reproduces the outside. The inside doesn't come along with it. The junk strewn around me is all like that. When I fail at reinforcement, I'll make a substitute as practice and to calm myself down, but all of them are empty. I can clearly visualize the blueprint of something, so I can perfectly reproduce the outside, but the inside is hollow, and of course, there's no function to it either. I wipe off the sweat dripping from my forehead. When I realize it, my whole body is soaked in sweat, like I've been drenched with a bucket of water. But I'm fortunate to have gotten away with just this much. That was really bad earlier. If I'd gotten a grip just a breath later, my internal organs would probably have been mostly destroyed.
死にかけた分上達するならまだ見込みがあるんだけどな。
If I improved as much as I got close to death, there might still be hope, but it's nothing as convenient as that. Although, it is sensible that you can't improve at magic if you fear death. As long as you learn magic, death is already walking beside you. Even magic you use every day like it's nothing. If you slip up even slightly, it will destroy you.
魔術師にとって一番初めの覚悟とは死を容認することだ。
The very first resolve of a mage is to accept death. Kiritsugu said that sadly. That might have meant that he didn't want me to make that resolve.
誰かを助けるということは誰かを助けないということ。正義の味方っていうのはとんでもないエゴイストなんだか。
To save one person is to not save someone else. To be a hero is to be an unthinkable egotist, huh? When my kid self told Kiritsugu that I would become like him, those were the words he answered me with. I don't know what he meant. All I know is Emi Yashiro has to become a hero who goes around saving people, just like Emiya Kiritsugu was.
その割にこんな処方がうまくいかないんだもんな。なんでいざって時に雑念が入るんだ。バカ。
For all that, though, I can't even get the basics to work. Why do you get distracted at the worst times, idiot? It's not enough just to see the structure of an object with your eyes. The best mages see only the faults, and allow magical energy to flow in without any waste. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I recall the line that Fujine said at dinner. I don't think that it's embarrassing or impossible. It's already been decided. Emiya Shiro will follow after Emiya Kiritsugu. That's why, even if I'm unskilled and inexperienced, I've kept on doing as much as I can. I don't know what kind of person a hero is. I don't know, so right now all I can do is try to get close by helping people in whatever way I can. Like that, for 5 years I want to think that I've only been looking forward, but where things don't go well like this, I can't help but waver.
点でわからないよ、親父。
Yeah, I just don't get it, Dad.
一体さ、何をすれば正義の味方になれるんだ？
Just how exactly do you become a hero? Through the window, I look out at the sky. It's not like you can just blindly go around helping people. I think being a hero is different from just helping people. But even though I know that, just how do you go about becoming something different? That vital part is something I've spent 5 years unable to figure out. February 1st. Fate Stay Night 2. One Day 2. It's dark when I wake up. I guess I'm not the kind of person who normally dreams, but unless something really unusual happens, my dreams are always the same. The things I imagine are always swords. I don't know what the cause is, but this is all that floats up into my mind. There's no meaning in it, and no particular reason for it. In that case, perhaps it's just one of the components of Emiya Shiro. I don't dream. What I think back on when I fall asleep are just things someone taught me long ago. For example, about mages. Even if I'm only a novice, if I am a mage, then it's a natural for me to understand the world that I'm in. To put it plainly, mages are exceptions who deviate from civilized society. However, even exceptions have to flock together in order to survive. Dad taught me about that crowd, the organization called the Magic Association. Didn't he also say that it's better not to get involved with them? The Magic Association conceals magic and supervises mages. In other words, it keeps watch over mages to ensure that they don't use their magic to affect modern society. However, they don't prohibit the abuse of magecraft as such. Kiritsugu once said that the Magic Association is only concerned with concealing the arcane. If a mage advances his research as he pleases, and as a result regular people are killed, no matter how many victims there are, the association won't punish him. Their priority is to ensure that the existence of magic doesn't become public knowledge, not to prohibit it. The point is, they're an awful bunch for whom it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you don't get caught doing it. Anyway, the supervision of the Magic Association is absolute. Most magical research sacrifices ordinary people, and as a result would reveal the existence of magic to the world. So the association forbids any research that would harm ordinary society. So, mages hide themselves in their houses, and quietly devote themselves to their research, and the world goes on none the wiser. When mages try to hide themselves, it's entirely in order to escape being purged by the association. So that's why there's a possibility that I just don't know about it, and there's another mage living even in this town. Whatever else, apparently Fuyuki is spiritually excellent ground. On that kind of ground, there's no doubt that some prestigious mage family with a long history has set up shop here. Known as the Supervisor, or Second Owner, they are the elites made responsible for this land by the Association. Apparently, mages who intend to put down roots in the same land must first present themselves to them and receive their permission to construct a workshop. Speaking of which, that makes us, the Emiya, thieves living here without the landlord's permission. Dad was an outlaw who cut ties with the association and moved here without the leave of Fuyuki's supervisor. The supervisor or whatever doesn't know that Emiya Kiritsugu was a mage. Because of that too, I think our position here is incredibly ambiguous. Dad, who was a proper mage, has passed on. And I, his son and apprentice, am unknown to the association, and I don't have any knowledge as a mage either. According to the dictates of the association, scraps like me are to be captured and done away with as soon as possible, but right now I don't feel like anything dangerous like that is going to happen. Well, it seems like Japan is relatively far from the eyes of the association, so the truth is most likely that they just haven't found me. Even so, it's not like I can relax. The Magic Association has eyes everywhere, and what's more, if I cause some kind of incident with my magic, the Inquisitors of the Church won't stay quiet either. Whatever you use magic for, if you use it carelessly, you'll make powerful enemies. With that in mind, it just means that I have to keep studying and become a mage by myself. I'm awakened by the ray of sunlight shining in through the window. I guess the sun has just come up. It's still faintly dark outside.
さすがに朝は辛いな。
It's cold. Mornings really are always tough. But wait, didn't you fall asleep in the shed? I get up fighting the morning chill and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. No matter how late I stay up, being able to wake up at this time is one of my virtues. Sometimes I mess up like I did yesterday, but on the whole I wake up early.
それじゃ朝飯っと。
Well then, time to make breakfast. I left it all up to Sakura yesterday, so there's no excuse for not turning around and repaying that favor this morning. Let's prep everything quickly before Sakura gets here. I cook some rice and make some miso soup. Yesterday was daikon and carrot, so today I've decided to make onion and potato miso. At the same time, I beat the eggs for the usual rolled omelet, simmer some leftovers with konjac and katsuobushi, and preparations are complete. I cut and salt the mackerel pike for the main course, and all that's left is to turn on the heat and we're done.
よし、こんなんでいいか。
Alright, that should be fine. It's almost 6. Since I finished earlier than I thought, there's some time left over. Well, what should I do with that extra time?
そうだな。これだけ時間があれば一汗流せるか。
That's right. If I have this much time, I should go and sweat a little. Morning exercise is part of my daily routine, after all. Let's go move around a little. The Emiya house has a gorgeous dojo. When they were building the house, they decided they might as well build it too. That being the case, this dojo wasn't built for any purpose in particular.
ま、藤姉が好き勝手使ってるけどな。
Well, Fujine uses it as much as she wants, though. Apparently, this place has been Fujine's playground since even before I came to the Emiya house. But when I became Kiritsugu's apprentice, we started using it frequently, so Fujine didn't like me all that much in those days.
さて。
Alright. Now that we're here, there's only one thing to be done. Mage or not, I can't slack off training my body. Having excellent physical ability is also a condition of being a mage. While Kiritsugu was alive, we sparred here many times. Well, even if I say that, I mostly just got one-sidedly beat up. So I didn't learn any techniques for winning a fight or anything like that. Even so, I think I did at least learn the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I learned the difference between a fight to beat your opponent and a fight to kill your opponent, and how to tell the difference. Knowledge is different from experience. Unless you know the difference beforehand, it's hard to judge whether you've been caught up in just a fight or in a battle to the death. It's pretty simple. When you learn magic, there's always the chance that you might destroy yourself, and there will be times when you have no choice but to fight. For mages, to fight is to fight to the death. So what Kiritsugu wanted to teach was probably how to resolve myself in the face of death. But Kiritsugu isn't here to teach me that anymore. Now that I'm alone, if you ask about things I can't think of and do myself, it's just exercise like this that anyone can do.
じゃあま、本格的にやっておくか。
Alright, well, let's do this for real. After I loosen up my muscles with some stretches, I turn my consciousness inward and start my exercises. And I'm gonna break it off here, upload the video immediately, and start recording the next one while it uploads. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, see you next time.